guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're doing a Q&A, but not about watches, about me, or things that are not watch-related. I get a lot of personal questions in my Q&A and in my videos, and I figured it'd be interesting to answer them all in one place. And if you guys enjoyed it, then maybe we could, do another one next month. However, this is a watch channel, so I don't think you guys are going to care that much, but, one video would be interesting. Also, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Omega Speedmaster Apollo 14. Love this watch, even though it's starting to be summer soon, so it's going to be in the box for a few months. And also, go check out delraywatch.com. Maybe not now, but in a couple of hours. We're putting up some crazy new stock. Perpetual calendars, a couple of Pateks, some more Rolex, some very, very interesting stuff that, doesn't come up for sale that often at delraywatch.com, link in the description below. So yeah, guys, these are some questions you asked me on my Instagram account, and I'm gonna answer them. So if I'm looking down, I'm just reading my notes, I'm not trying to be rude. Robert Dixon says, do you miss New York City? Do you regret taking that job in Miami? By that job, I think he means the old watch you want days. Yeah, I really do miss New York. I'm a New Yorker at heart. I love Miami. When I lived in New York, I used to come, to Miami like once a month or once every 6 weeks for work/vacation. So I knew the city quite well. But yeah, I do miss New York. I'd rather live in New York. I love New York entirely. But no, Miami's a lot of fun. And no, I don't regret taking that job. Things obviously have gone very well for me since then. And everything is an experience. So no, I never regret it. It's just a little different experience in life. And, you move on. What can I tell you? T_bucket. How do you like your steak? Obviously, I love steak. Look at me. Rare. Even though if it is Argentinian churrasco, I go for medium, but generally on like a dry-aged piece of meat, I go with rare. Dim_PLY. How is your current car, the Ghibli? I hear they have some quality control issues, although I will say it's beautiful. I'll tell you this, it's got a couple of quality control issues. Not that serious, though. The infotainment screen, once every 50 times I get into the car, freezes, and then I got to turn off the car, get out so it doesn't detect the key, and turn it back on, and that fixes the CarPlay, the Apple CarPlay, and the infotainment screen. And apart from that, have I had any other issues? No, I got a flat tire, but that's not the car's fault. Generally, it's been great. I mean, it's been pretty reliable, ton of fun to drive. It turns heads. It's beautiful. I really, really enjoy it. I can't complain, even though I'm fully aware I'm very lucky to have had such few issues. Sohail Japper says, if you got the chance to make an investment, what would it be? Not counting the watch business. Well, this is rather interesting. I'd want something that would give me passive income. So the two investments I would make, if I had a ton of money, I'd buy real estate in New York and rent it out. Real estate only goes up in New York. I mean, in the short term, it can go up and down, but long term, it only goes up, and it's a great way to make money. However, considering I can't afford an apartment in New York, I think the easiest thing for me to invest in would be to put my money in like an S&P 500 index fund. They can return 8 or 9% per year. It's not bad at all. But generally, I invest most of my watches most of my money in the watch market because it is my job. So I think I know what'll go up and what'll go down, what can make me money, what can't. But outside of watches, simple index funds and real estate. However, I also do day trade a little bit, but that's not really an investment because I don't hold my positions. It's more scalping, so I'm not counting that. And Zaki, what are your other hobbies besides watches and cars? Well, yes, I love watches and cars, but I do have a couple of other hobbies. My main hobby, I'd say right up there with watches, is traveling. I love traveling anywhere. I love new experiences. I love talking to people, trying weird food. Anywhere from the very high end of Monaco to the most rural, impoverished nation like Sudan. I want to go everywhere. And in fact, I try and travel as much as possible. I know Asia quite well. I know Europe very well. South America, I've only been to a couple places. I've never been to Africa, apart from North Africa. So I do have to check out Africa next. But traveling is huge with me. Then another thing, I don't know if you kind of really call this a hobby, but I do futures. I like to trade futures and read up on the market. Once again, not necessarily a hobby. Maybe it'll become a job one day, but I do quite enjoy it. Federico, what kind of fragrance or cologne do you wear? Well, I answered this in my last Q&A, but I'll answer it again right now. I only wear the brand Deep Teak. They make a few different fragrances, but Deep Teak, in my opinion, is the just the nicest cologne I found, particularly L'Ombre dans l'Eau. But yeah, that's what I wear. Stir Paul says, who are your favorite non-watch related YouTubers? What content do you watch apart from your fellow watch guys? Well, Paul, the truth is, I don't even have cable at home. Not because I can't afford it, but because I don't spend that much time at home. And honestly, I watch a ton of YouTube. And this list could be 50 deep. So if I left anybody off, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to mention 5 that I've been watching quite a bit recently. The first is a great travel channel called Bald and Bankrupt. Just a lot of fun of a British guy going around, India, Russia, places like that, just travel vlogging. I find him to be just a very likable guy, and the content is great. Next, obviously, I love cars. Doug DeMuro is great. I also watch a ton of Hoovy's Garage. Fantastic content. Financially, I love to watch Graham Stephan, excuse me if I butchered that. Great real estate advice, investment advice. I'm not the most frugal guy in the world, which is not good. And watching his content kind of makes me a more intelligent person, so I really like that. Then I love to travel, so I watch a lot of The Points Guy. He teaches you how to maximize credit card points, Amex points, Chase points for free travel, particularly in business and first class. I find that fascinating, especially if you can get a $20,000 ticket for free, why not? So I watch a lot of The Points Guy. And also, not so much right now, but I was really into retro gaming. So I watched a lot of Lazy Game Reviews. Great channel. Clint is a very likable guy as well. And I'm still very fascinated by like 1980s and early 90s tech. So Lazy Game Review is pretty great. Then Matty Sao says, how Italian are you? Do you have family there? Do you speak Italian regularly? Well, Maddie, I'm first generation American, even though I hold an Italian passport. I also hold an American passport. Italian was my first language, even though today I'm more fluent in English. Most of my family still lives in Naples, Italy. My parents do live in the US, but only my parents and my brother live in the US. The rest of my family lives in Italy, and I speak Italian every day. Well, not so much Italian, but Neapolitan every day. I speak to my mom in Italian and my dad in Italian. So it's not as fluent as I would love. I kind of have a little bit of an American accent when speaking Italian, but I do understand it perfectly, and I speak it pretty darn well. Saharsha Thapalia says, what's my favorite alcoholic drink? This one's tough. Quite a few. I love champagne. Not gonna lie. I know it's a little girly, little shishi, but I love champagne. I'll drink champagne over beer any day. I love Negroni cocktails. Fantastic, but only if you can make them right. And if not, I love a nice rum with a few ice cubes. Also delicious. But I drink a lot of scotch and vodka as well. But my top 3 has to be champagne, Negronis, and rum on the rocks with a slice of lemon. And then lastly, Yannick Thibodeau. if you had to be the owner of one watch brand, damn it, Yannick, this was a non-watch related Q&A. If I had to be the owner of one watch brand, which one would it be? Pretty easy. Rolex. No, for real though, I'd probably own FP Journe. Francois Paul looks like a lot of fun. He's creating the most loved pieces in the world right now, and I'd love to be a part of that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking around for the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed this slightly more personal spin and look at me. Or maybe not. Let me know in the comment section below. And please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any content. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.